Simple Toys by Carter's, exclusively at Amazon.
Neutralizing properties of bamboo charcoal with the plush and supportive feel of memory.
Alright, so this is where I decided to put my seedling trays. I'm going to go with natural sunlight to germinate these seeds. Now it's time to make my soil, which is sand and sawdust. I'll do that, show you what I'm doing. So I'm doing 2 parts sawdust, 1 part sand. I'm going to put the sawdust in first because the sand is heavier and it will sink. There's 1. Alright, 2 done. 1 more. Okay, so I've got my Bible here and I need to figure out how much pre-plant and weekly feed to put in each seedling tray, and here it tells me spread fertilizer. So spread 1 ounce, 2 tablespoons of lime, and ½ ounce weekly feed over the surface of each flat. You can also put 1½ ounces of pre-plant fertilizer formula. So I'm going to fill the boxes first, it looks like, and then I'm going to put the fertilizer on top and then mix the soil with the fertilizers by hand. And then you water. So let me get my weekly feed out and my pre-plant and measure it. And I have my scale here. It's been 8 years in this bucket because we moved. So let's see if, you know, it's not wet at all. It's dry. I think I do have some perlite in here when I first made it 8 years ago. But it used to be, you know, up to here. Now it's down to there, but I haven't had a problem with it turning wet. So I don't know why. Might be because of the gamma lids, might be because of the black bucket, less sunlight, and the perlite. So anyway, it works out good for me. I'm going to shake it because some of the smaller granules fall to the bottom. And I want to make sure I get a good mix of it first. Okay. So we just need ½ ounce of weekly feed. A little bit too much. That's good. Almost on the money. So that's what I need per seedling tray for the weekly feed. And now I'm going to put, and the page moved, 1½ ounces of pre-plant, which is right here, that I already mixed up. .59, a little bit more. 1.52, I'm good with that. So that's what I'm adding. Now it says to add 1 ounce of lime also. And I don't have any of that separated. It's already added to my pre-plant. So I'm just going to use the pre-plant. I don't have lime separated, which I believe is gypsum. So that's what I'll just add to the top and mix that in. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my seedling trays right now. First indent, roll twice. Second indent, roll twice. This one's cilantro is an herb. Pumpkin, do we want to do a pumpkin? Soybeans, cantaloupe, squash, and I'll do all the beans.
Don't even have to use that.
Nope. Those are for when you transplant. I didn't know. So that is for when you transplant from that to another seedling tray to space them out because they get bigger. So I don't even need that until they get big, and then once they get bigger, I'm gonna put them in there anyway. We use iceberg.
Yeah, a lot.
All right, so here's our layout. What we decided, we're gonna do 1 row of each. That way it's easier to track. I don't wanna do like half of something and half of something else, so we're gonna do flags and put them at the end and plant a row of each. And this is basically what we like to eat anyway. And there's more that we wanted to plant, but I'm going to just plant them in the buckets over here and try some pumpkin. And hopefully that takes off in the grow bed. We are a small family of 4 with only 2 grow beds, so we don't need a lot. But we're doing this for experience, and if we have more than enough, we will provide food for our family, extended family. We're going to make flags. They don't take up much space. They're very cheap. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's. We're going to put the name of the plant on it and the date, and then stick them at the back of the rows so we'll remember what we planted. So I'm going to go grab some sand and we'll cover this. Fine. No, that's fine, because they're not going to break through that. That we take off as now I don't have burlap or what they suggested to put over it, but what I do have is this wheat fabric, which allows water to go through, but I don't know how much. So I'm going to test this out, see if it works. If we want to, I guess we could poke holes. Alright, so I decided to use what I had available, which is weed cloth. It does allow water to seep through evenly. If you look right here, it is damp everywhere, which is good. So we're going to use this. Easy to just lift off and on. Just staple it so it'll stay secure. And, oops. Well, let's check this side. So It's damp. So let's see what happens in 3 days. Some seeds may germinate in 3 days, some take 7 to 10 days, some may take even longer. One more thing left to do, and that is to do my diluted weekly feed fertilizer that I'm going to use to water my seedlings once they sprout. So in order to do this, I looked up. Mittleider's recipe is 1 ounce of weekly feed diluted in 3 gallons of water. Now, since this is a 5-gallon pail, well, here's how I'm going to do it. First, I weigh my cup, zero it out, and then let's get 1 point. That's way too much. 1.7. So that's good. Should be like 1.66 or 67. So there we go. So I will add this to the pail. I put my instructions back in here, my scale back in here, and then I have my gamma lid. This is how I store my weekly feed. So you get a can. Once we have a can, put it in here with holes in the bottom, and you just pour, let it flow over the top of the seedlings. And you do that after they. Okay, don't want any bugs in there. Do that after they sprout. That's it for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and just keep on prepping.